What's up, everybody? Welcome to DFS by the Numbers. This is my NASCAR cheat sheet video for the O'Reilly Auto Parts 500. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another NASCAR video. This time we are breaking down the O'Reilly Auto Parts 500 at Texas. We have 334 laps. We're going to need some dominators here, and I'm really looking forward to this race because DraftKings did a fantastic job at the pricing. Finally, they got it right. Christopher Bell is not 12,000, so we can finally play him. Really looking forward to that. Before we get started and break down this slate, if you guys can give this video a like, also subscribe if you haven't yet. Really appreciate that. Really helps me out a bunch. And with that said, let's get into it. So like I said, DraftKings did a fantastic job at pricing these drivers. I don't really see anything that I want to complain about on this slate. So that's going to make it very, very fun here because, we can finally play guys like Christopher Bell. Eric Jones isn't 6,000. Ryan Blaney could be priced up a little bit more, but, no complaints here for me. So, yeah, I'm really excited for this slate, and I like a lot of spots here. So this video is coming out a day late. I had a lot of stuff going on with MMA, had 3 cards in about 7 days, but took an extra day just to kind of look over things, and I'm feeling pretty confident here. I think there's great plays that are down low we can attack, and some potential dominators up top we can attack as well. There's not much value down at the bottom, but we're going to go over that right now, and I think the mid-range builds are going to be very popular this week. I like that mid-range a lot, and I like some of these guys up top. So we will start with that guy up top, and it's Kevin Harvick, and he's probably my favorite play on the whole slate. This guy is absolutely fantastic here. Average finish of 2.83 in his last 6 races with 3 wins, 5 top 5s. His worst finish being 8th. He has led 498 laps led. Average driver rating of 125.8. Like, he is fantastic here. Another thing is he's been fantastic this year as well. Current form in his last 6 races, 2 wins in 6 races, average finish of 7.33, driver rating of 105.6 with 109 laps led. I love Harvick here, starting 5th. He's also great at these 1.5 mile tracks as well. Look at the track type history here, average finish of 8.3 with 8 wins, which is the second best on the slate, 2,730 laps led. So, I like Harvick a lot in this spot. I know he's expensive, but I'm going to go up and pay for him. Denny Hamlin and Drix and Elliott are all guys I think that can dominate here. Hamlin, average finish at 20.17 in his last 6 races, but Hamlin's been very good this year. Looking at his current form, average finish of 8 in his last 6 races with 2 wins, 233 laps led, a driver rating of 116.7, so we can't ignore how good Hamlin has been. Looking at the track type history, he does have 3 wins, 277 laps led, so I think he's capable of dominating here. My preferred play is for sure Harvick. I'm going to have more Harvick, but I think Hamlin's another option we can look up there at top. Martin Drix Jr. starting 10th. I don't hate it at all, especially considering how good he is at these 1.5 mile tracks. Average finish of 6.6 in 44 races, which is absolutely fantastic. 10 wins, which is the best on the slate. 2,072 laps led, which is the second best on the slate with the driver rating of 113. So we really can't ignore how good Drix is at these 1.5 mile tracks. So I think he's another potential dominator here. Starting 10th, you're going to get place differential. I like it quite a bit. Chase Elliott. He's not someone who's had much success at this track in particular. Average finish of 13.17. Track type history, average finish of 12.2 with 467 laps led. I just think he has potential to dominate this race. He is someone who has been very, very good this year, especially at those 1.5 mile tracks. And, at 10,000, I think he's worth a shot. Like, I would not be surprised at all if we saw Chase Elliott get up there and dominate. He's one of those guys that have been very good this year. Has really been surprising to me with how good he's been this year. Elliott, Blaney, Hamlin, Truex, Harvick, all these guys have been pretty good this year. Making up for what Kyle Busch is doing. Obviously Chase Elliott's a pretty good play. He's always in play, especially at these 1.5 mile tracks here. So I don't hate it. Starting 8th, another guy that I think can dominate. Keselowski probably won't have much here. I think he might be able to dominate, but I just like the plays around him. Current form, average finish of 10.33 with 6 top 20s, driver rating of 95, 48 laps led. I think he's capable of leading laps here. Track type history, 6 wins, which is the third best on the slate with 716 laps led. So I think he is good at these 1.5 mile tracks for sure. It's just he hasn't been good at this track in particular. 0 wins in 23 races, average finish of 17.7. He has led 639 laps led. I wouldn't be surprised if he got up there and dominated, but I just like the guys around him a little bit more. Joey Logano starting 9th, average finish of 6.67. Here he's pretty good here with 3 top 5s in 6 races. 9,500 is not bad at all. Look at the track history here. Average finish of 14 in 23 races. He does have a win here as well. Current form, Joey Logano, average finish of 21.5 with 85 laps led. Wouldn't be surprised if he got up there and dominated, but I really just want to go somewhere else this week. I do like the guys up top a little bit more, but wouldn't be too surprised if Logano dominated, but probably not going to have too much of him. Kyle Busch, someone I'm not going to have much of at all. I just don't really think I want to play him until we get more practice from him. Just don't like his speed this year. Don't like what I'm seeing without this practice. So until practice is back, probably going to be very underweight on Kyle Busch here. I know the price is very intriguing. I'm just going to ignore that. Kyle Busch has just not been Kyle Busch like this year. So he's decent at this track, but I just don't like it this week here. So I'm not going to be playing much of Kyle Busch. Christopher Bell, we finally get to play him. They finally priced him down at this 9,000 range where he belongs. He's starting 33rd. I love this play. Going to be a core play of mine. And by the way, going over the key quickly here, core plays in green, GPP in yellow, red, and fade and punt in orange. Forgot to mention that, but he is a core play of mine. Starting 33rd, there's a bunch of place differential. Looking at his track type history, average finish of 16. If he finishes 16th, I think that could be enough to end up on the optimal lineup, but I think there is top 10 upside as well. Current form, average finish of 16.8, 4 top 20s there. So yeah, I like Christopher Bell quite a bit. I think there's place differential. I think it's a lock in cash there. I have it in cash for sure, but I think it's fine in GPP as well. Johnson, if you want to get off that Bell chalk, I think is a fine place starting 20th. I do think he can move up. Ryan Blaney starting 2nd. I love the price. He's decent here. Average finish of 11.67. He has 2 top 5s. His best finish being 2nd. And Blaney is another one of these guys that have been very good this year. So I love the price. Looking at his current form, Ryan Blaney, average finish of 12.67 in his last 6 races, 172 laps led. If he can jump out in front of Amarola and lead that early stage, I do think it's possible, or even taking the lead maybe after that competition caution. I think that's possible as well. So at that price, you really can't turn that down. Eric Jones, a core play of mine, 8,600 starting 23rd, average finish of 9 in 6 races. Very good here, but of course, Eric Jones has had some bad luck lately, so I wouldn't play too much of Eric Jones, but I think he's a fantastic play on paper. Hopefully he can have a clean race. If he does, I see a lot of upside with him starting 23rd. Alex Bowman starting 8,400 starting 12th. I don't hate it. I just like the guys around him a little bit more, but I think Alex Bowman and MBD are going to be very low owned, so I will have some for that reason. I do think there is some upside, some sneaky upside there with both of them. So not guys I'm going to fade. I'm going to play some of them just because of that ownership there, because obviously there's fantastic plays around these guys, and I think they're going to be the odd mans out here. So Eric Amarola has been absolutely on fire. We got to check his current form. Average finish of 4.5 in his last 6 races with 5 top 5s. Out of 6 races there with the driver rating of 105.3, which is just crazy for Eric Amarola. I do think he can get out there and dominate some of that first stage, and he's so cheap that even if he does dominate like 25, 30, 45, 50 laps, it could be enough to get an optimal lineup if he does get a top 5, and that's just what he's been doing. So I like Eric Amarola quite a bit, but would I be surprised if Blaney went out there and got the lead right away? No, and I do think Amarola is still playable at that point because I do think he can get a top 5 there at 8,100. William Byron starting 18th. I like the price quite a bit. They have been pricing Byron up quite a bit, and now he's down to 8,000. So I do think he's in play here. Average finish of 12.25 in his last 4 races. I like William Byron quite a bit. Kurt Busch is starting up too close to the front for me, but he's very cheap. But just don't like him this week. So this range right here, this high 7K range to mid 7K range, I like it a lot. I like all 4 of these guys. Tyler Redick is a fantastic place during 24th. There's going to be a lot of place differential. Looking at his track type history, average finish of 11 in 9 races at these 1.5 mile tracks. And looking at his current form, average finish of 17.83. So I do think there is some upside with Tyler Redick. He's only going to move up. He's 7,800, pretty cheap. So I do like that play right there. And then Clint Boyer, someone who I'm surprised is this cheap because he's been doing pretty good this year. Average finish of 15.83 in his last 6 races. Looking at Boyer's current form here, average finish of 13.5. I like that quite a bit. So Redick, Boyer, fantastic plays. If you want to get off of that ownership a little bit. Matt Kenseth starting 22nd. I mean, he's good here. And in the last 3 years, he has an average finish of 10 where he finished 4th and 16. Obviously, he's really good here in his career. He does have 2 wins here. He's in very good equipment, so maybe he can get it going again. We saw a couple weeks ago where he finished 2nd. I do think, that's not a top 10 is not out of the question here. So, and he is going to be lower ownership, I believe. When he finished 2nd, he was a lot higher owned than I thought he would be. I think he was like 17%. Usually would like to get him a little bit lower than that, but don't think many people are going to be on him, especially with the plays around him here. So I think he's a fine play. And then Custer starting 19th. He just won the race a couple weeks ago. He's been very good. Average finish at 13.83. He's starting 19th, 7,400. I like it a lot. So, and out of these 4 in this range right here, I'm going to rank them. I'm going to rank them Redick 1, Boyer 2, Custer 3, and Kenseth 4. I think they're all in play. Stenhouse and Wallace, both guys I'm not going to play much or any at all here. I think they're starting up too close to the front for me, and I just love the guys around him a lot more. Austin Dillon, a core play of mine, 6,900, very cheap. He's very good at these 1.5-mile tracks, and he's been doing very, very good this year. As long as he stays out of trouble, I think he'll have a good race during 21. Place differential there, I think a top 10 is not... I think a top 10 could definitely happen here. Looking at his current form, even with that bad luck he's been having, average finish at 18.3. So I only think he's going to move up. Ty Dillon, a little less upside here, but he is probably safer. Average finish at 19.17 in 6 races there. He is starting 30th, so top 20, that can definitely happen. But if you want more upside, I'd probably play Austin Dillon or the guy below him, Michael Mcdowell. Someone who's been doing fantastic, starting 34th. They did price him up a little bit, which I don't really like, but I don't blame him because McDowell's been fantastic. Average finishes 18.67 with 2 top 10s in 6 races. So he's been fantastic. I am going to be playing him at 6,600. A little bit too expensive, but you kind of got to play him there. Suarez not interested in. Newman, he's very cheap, just not really interested in. Maybe he squeaks out of top 15, but I just don't really think that's going to happen this week. LaJoy, starting 36th. Don't really love it. I don't think there's much upside. I think it's kind of safe. Maybe he finishes like 29th, 28th. Just don't think there's much upside to take down a tournament there. John Hunter Nemechek, starting 28th. Average finish of, in the track type history, average finish of 21.9. So I think he can move up a couple spots there. Maybe get a top 20 as well. He has 4 top 20s in 6 races. Average finish of 20.17. So at 6,000, willing to take a shot there at John Hunter there for kind of a pump play there. And other than that, there's not really much down here. I mean, you have Chris Buescher starting 16th. Don't really love that. Ryan Preece starting 25th. I mean, maybe he can finish, he finished 22nd and 23rd here, so maybe he finishes around there. Maybe he sneaks in a top 20, but just not really interested in much down here. Probably Preece is another option I'm looking at. Other than that, don't really want to go down here. Maybe you could play Timmy Hill. Sorensen's probably going to finish right around where he starts, 39th or 40th. Probably Timmy Hill's the only guy I'd probably look at here. I think he has an average finish of like 31 in his last 6 races, something like that. Timmy Hill, average finish of 32, so that's kind of 6 spots moving up. 5,200, something to look at there. But other than that, this range down here is not something I like too much. I like this mid-range quite a bit. So I might start out my lineups with 3 guys down here. Kind of do like a stars and scrubs approach. I think Ryan Blaney can dominate. I think Eric Amarola can dominate. And I think, guys up here can dominate as well. Like Kevin Harvick can dominate. Wouldn't be surprised if Hamlin, Truex, or Elliott dominated as well. And going to have a little bit of Keselowski and Logano. Kyle Busch is probably going to be my lowest owned up there. Hopefully a lot of people play him. I'm done with Kyle Busch until we get that practice back. Just don't like what I'm seeing out of him at all. If it burns me, it burns me, but I'm just done with Kyle Busch for now. So that's my picks and breakdown for Texas, the O'Reilly Auto Parts 500. If this video helped you out at all, give this video a like, subscribe if you haven't yet. Kind of rushed through it because I do have a lot of stuff to do tonight. It's 4:30 a.m. I'm very tired, and I still have a whole article to write for MMA, so getting off of here and got to do that. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe, really helps me out, and good luck, and let's win some money. I'm looking forward to it.